everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to make this beautiful cardigan. I'm using 100% cotton yarn and a 3mm hook to make this. You can see it is perfect for winters as it is not lacy and it's a solid cardigan. Before directly starting to make the cardigan, I'll just show you how we are going to go about the project. We're going to make a rectangular panel like this and two smaller rectangular panels like this. It'll be attached to the first rectangular panel that we made, and we're going to sew in right over there on the top and on the sides, leaving some space for the armholes. And we're going to make two such panels for our armholes. After making the panel, we're going to sew them in like this and make our sleeves. So these sleeves will be attached to our panel, to the vest that we make. So in total we'll have to make 5 panels for this cardigan. It is going to be very easy. Let's go see how to make them. We're going to start with making a slip knot. After making a slip knot, we're going to start chaining, and that chain will be in the multiples of 3 plus 1. Now I'll tell you how to measure it. You just have to measure around your chest and you have to divide it by 2. So however loose you want, you have to measure it in that width and divide it by 2. For example, in my case it was 40 inches. I wanted it to be loose, so 40 I divided it by half, and I'm going to make a chain wide enough for 20 inches. So you can make it as loose or as tight as you want. I'm just going to continue making my chains and I'll see you once I'm done. Now here you can see that we have made a chain long enough for 20 inches, and now we are going to start making the stitch. For that I'm going to chain 1. That chain 1 is going to be our turning chain. We're going to skip that first chain, and in the second chain from our hook we're going to make 1 single crochet, and in the next chain we're going to again make 1 single crochet. So basically our first row is going to be 1 single crochet in each of the stitches till we reach the end of the chain. Now coming back to the measurement part, I will suggest you to make this cardigan a bit loose, because that is how it is going to look better. So in case if you like, add in a few inches before deciding on the width of this cardigan. So I am just going to continue making my single crochets, and I'll see you once my first row is done. So here you can see that we have reached the end of our row and we have made a whole row with single crochets. Now moving on to our row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn around our work. Now in the very first chain we're going to make 1 single crochet. Now we're going to make 1 half double crochet in that same stitch. Now we're going to make 1 double crochet in that same stitch. Now we're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch we're going to make 1 single crochet. One half double crochet in the same stitch, and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. Again, we're going to skip 2 chains and continue doing the same stitch all over the row. Now I know how simple it is, but yet it gives us a very beautiful texture, which is why I love this stitch. It is also beginner friendly because all you have to do in this project is chains, single crochets, half double crochets, and double crochets. One double crochet in the same stitch, so basically our entire row is going to be this same stitch all throughout the row. Now I'm just going to continue making my stitches, and I'll see you at the end of this row. So here we are at the end of our row. We are left with only 3 stitches. So in the very last stitch, we're going to make 1 single crochet, and that is how we are going to end our stitch. I'll just show you. So we're going to make our usual stitches in here. We've made 1 double crochet, and in the very last stitch, again you skip 2 stitches, and in the very last stitch you're going to make 1 single crochet, and that is how we end this row. Our row 2 is complete, and this is how it should look like. Now moving on to our row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn around our work. Now our row 3 is going to be the same as our row 2. In the very first stitch, we are going to make 1 single crochet, one half double crochet, and 1 double crochet. Now we skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch we're going to repeat the same thing. Now our third stitch is going to be the single crochet that we made in our second row. So 1 single crochet on top of that single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 double crochet, all in the same stitch. Again, we're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the third stitch, which is the single crochet, we're going to make 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 1 double crochet. So as I've mentioned earlier, our row 3 is going to be exactly same as our row 2. And I'm going to make this my cardigan in 3 colors. Now you can make it in only 1 color, or you can use as many colors as you want. I'll show you how to change colors in this pattern so that it looks nice. We're going to change colors after 4 rows. So let me just complete this row 3 and I'll see you at the end of this row. Here you can see we're at the end of our row 3 and you see that one single crochet. Let us just quickly make our group of stitches in that. One single crochet, one half double crochet and one double crochet in it. And I'll show you how to end our row 3. Of course, it is exactly the same as we end our row 2, that is with one single crochet in the very last stitch. Now you see that very last stitch, we're going to make one single crochet in it, and that is how we end our row. Now moving on to our row 4, we are going to chain 1 and turn around our work. And now in every stitch we are going to make one single crochet. So our row 4 is basically one single crochet throughout the row, just like our first row that we made. Now I'm just going to continue making my single crochets and I'll see you at the end of this row, because we're going to change the color now after 4 rows. So see you at the end of this row. So here you can see we are at the end of our row 4 and this is how our stitch should look like. Now we have left one last stitch. We're going to insert our hook in that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and we have to stop here. We don't have to yarn over, pull through the 2 loops. Instead we take our next color and we yarn over and pull through both the loops with that color. So this is a way of seamlessly transitioning into other colors. Now we have to chain 1 and we'll turn around our work, and the brown yarn is to be cut at this point. Now in the very first stitch we're going to make one single crochet. In the next stitch, one single crochet again. So this whole panel is actually going to be a 4-row repeat. So we are going to make exactly the same 4 rows that we made with brown. We're going to make the exact same rows with this color as well. Let me just cut the brown yarn off. Yeah, so the whole row is going to be one single crochet, and then the second row is going to be one single crochet, one half double crochet and one double crochet in the same stitch. Skip 2 stitches, and in the next stitch we are going to do the exact same thing. So if you have any doubts, you can go back to the video wherein I have taught how are we going to make the stitches with the brown yarn. So after making 4 rows with this color, I'm going to change the color again. The next color that I'll be using is kind of an off-white. So I'm making this in brown, rust and off-white. I'm just going to continue making my rows and I'll see you once I'm done. So here I'm done with some of my rows, and you can see how beautiful the texture is. I mean, it's so easy, yet it gives us such a beautiful texture. Also, it has no holes as such, like it's a very solid pattern, perfect for winters as well. If you want to make it in summers, you can use a thinner yarn like I have used. Here you can see I have already made my back panel and the front two panels. My back panel is 20 inches wide and 21 inches long, and the two smaller rectangular panels are 8 inches wide and 21 inches long each. So we need a gap of around 4 inches for the neck, but yeah, these are my measurements. Now I'm using an invisible stitch for sewing in the parts that I need to. I'll just show you how to do that with a video that I had previously shot. So you see that V in between the two stitches, you have to get right into that stitch and leave in a tail of yarn. Now you take the second panel, and even in the second panel you see that little V in between the two chains or the two stitches. You get right into that with your needle and you pull through. So this helps us in making an invisible join. Now in the first panel again, you see those two stitches and there's a V in between. You're going to go right through it. Now you may feel some resistance here, but that is how it works. Go right through it and pull through. Even on our first panel, the second panel, we go right through in between the two stitches and we pull through. Now this is what I prefer, but if you want to use a slip stitch or just the normal stitching, you can go ahead, whatever you're comfortable with. And we have to sew in, like we have to stitch the parts that I have mentioned in the beginning of the video, the shoulder part, and we're going to the topmost parts, and we're going to leave some armholes, and the sides as well we're going to stitch with using this invisible join. This is the method I prefer using in almost all my projects because it really makes your work flawless. I hope you've got the method properly here, and if you haven't, I have a separate detailed video for the same. I'll be linking it in the description box below. You can go check it out. Now I'm just going to continue sewing in my panels, and I'll see you once I'm done. Here you can see I am done with my stitching, and I've sewn the topmost part, and on the sides I have left around 8 inches for the armholes. Now let me just show you how my sleeves are. This is my sleeve panel. I'm going to fold it in half and sew in right over there. The measurements are mentioned further in the video, wherein I'll be showing you how to join the sleeves. Now I'm done making my sleeves as well. Now my sleeves are 10 inches long and they are 16 inches wide. So when I fold them in half to make a sleeve, my sleeve is going to be 8 inches. And as I've mentioned earlier, I have left 8 inches for my armhole. So this is how our sleeves will look like once they're done. Now I'm just going to quickly sew in all the ends, and I'm going to sew in the sleeves. I'm going to make them round, and I'm going to stitch them to the armholes as well. Now remember, you can make your sleeves as long as you want. Mine are around 10 inches and they come around my elbow, like a little bit below my elbow, but if you want to make them full sleeves, you can always measure and make them in any size you want. Now let me just do all the stitching, and once done, I'll get back to you. So once done, this is how our cardigan should look like. Now if you've got any questions regarding the sizing or the yarn or any such questions, you can ask me in the comment section below. I'll make sure I answer them all. Thanks for watching my video. If you do like my video, please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Happy crocheting!